Good evening, guys. This is Akol Mayen from Akol Podcast. I really made a lot of time without even coming here today, but I decided to come here today to share what I have. And I think you will learn from me, and I will also learn from you. So, the list that I'm going to have today is not going to be big, but it's going to be very small. Today, I decide to come to you and give you some of the things that you will also go through. And the one thing that I decide to bring to you today is a top list of the job and also the courses that you can do in 21st century. We know that this is 21st century, and if it is 21st century, we need to know the type of the job and the courses that you will also select from, because it is very necessary on that. And I have the list here, and this list, it is really I'm the one who made this research, and I found that this list, the one you are seeing here, they are also contributing a lot, and I know that there are some of the field that are also contributing to modern technology, and there are some field that are also contributing into economic, and that's why I made it broader, and I also add some of the course that you may also see. Today, my top list is artificial intelligence and machine learning is one of the course that is topping this thing today. And you can see from that, we have data science, okay, we have a lot of things, cybersecurity. We also have economics, logistics, and supply and chain management. So all these things, you can see them that they are contributing into the economics, and some of them are also contributing into education, and some of them are contributing into medics, and a lot of them are contributing in another way around. So I believe that if you watch this video, you can also learn something from it, and it will be good for you also to move on with some of the information that I have. The 21st century is an era of transformation. Do you know that? The nature of work is no longer what it was a decade ago. In 21st century is really different. It's not like those years that have gone, but this 21st century, everything has transformed and everything has changed. And I don't know from your perspective, what type of job do you see that is the one that somebody can do? We have kids, we have also people who want to also to learn skills, people who want to go forward, but they're confused, so they don't know what they want to do. You might be the person that may also add something. That's why I came up with this video, and this video will also help some of the people who want to learn, and some of the people who want also to advance their courses, and that's why I brought this so that we learn. In this 21st century, technology, globalization, climate change, digital economics, and rapidly evolving knowledge of systems have reshaped how society functions. Okay, if you can really imagine the way the world is moving, is quite a bit different. It has shaped how society functions and how people earn their livelihood. You know, in early generations, obtaining almost any university degree could lead to stable employment, and this is quite a bit different now in 21st century. You cannot say that if I get a degree, if I get a degree today, I will get a job. This is the difference. Those years that are fast, this is where you can get a degree and you will automatically get a job. But this 21st century, my friend, is really very tough. You get a degree, you die with a degree, you will not get anything from your degree. Sometimes we have all these things, and most of the people, you can see them graduating, and tomorrow you cannot find them working. So what contribute into the matter is that is the 21st century, because it comes with flexibility. You might be having a degree, that is the paper, but sometimes it's quite a bit different with what you will get outside. And that's why sometimes I used to bring all this so that we all learn the new thing, and these new things will also keep us to move forwards, and so, all right. And that's why it's one of the reasons that I brought this, so that we all understand. Okay. As you have understood, in 21st century, life is very hard, and I don't know, in your perspective, what type of job do you see that That is nice. Do you see that is one of the things most people will also do it? In earlier generations, I told you earlier that attaining degree and also getting a job is really very easy. It's not that tough. The longer the degree, the more you will get a job. But today, it's very tough, okay? It is really very tough today because employment and labor market was really small those days. And it was really less competitive compared to today. And today the situation is very different, as I told you. The modern world demands specialized knowledge, creativity, adaptability, and the ability to solve complex problems. This is what this time needs. For these reasons, choosing the right course of study has become one of the most important decisions a young person like you can make. So you cannot spend 4 years just in a course that you will not get anything from it. I'm advising you to choose a course that you love, to choose the course that you may get something from it because your family has been investing on you. In that investment, they might be expecting something from you. And if they are expecting something from you, it means you need to come up with something. You need to come up with skills. Okay, youth in 21st century are increasingly driven by knowledge and innovation. This is the only difference that we always get. Economics are no longer built only on natural resources, as you guys claim. They are not, okay? They cannot be built on natural resources. They can also not be built by physical level. They are built on ideas, okay? Technology and skills, okay? Human capitals also has influence on that. A nation that invests heavily in education and professional developments are able to grow faster. And I have seen this in many countries where you can find that a nation that invests in all this in profession, sometimes it grow very fast and it compete globally. We can see say countries like Singapore, South Korea, and Japan is also one of it, and also USA is also one of it. And all these things transform humanity. And we can see that all these transformations are really very important. And they are important because we should know that when we need to make our country, or let's say a place where we are like South Sudan, we can find out that for us to be a nation, then we need to invest in education. So we need to invest in professional development. If we invest in professional development, then a lot of things will come out from that. Skills will come, talents will also evolve, and a lot of infrastructure will also come. But if we invest on other things, if we hope for natural resource, then we cannot get anything. And that's why I came up with this scenario to give you some of my ideas that I have, and to list down for you that some of the costs that are important, some of the costs that will also lead this South Sudan to move forward. So we need to know them. We don't need to say that we have natural resource and South Sudan will move, but you can utilize natural resource. Yeah, you can't just have a natural resource and trying to bring up yourself that you have a lot of things and you will not work, you cannot invest in something. But that is totally wrong. So we need to invest in professional development. And this is what most of us are always, we are always advocating for that, so that we have a professional development in South Sudan. But because there is no professional development, and that's the reason some of us, we invest in other things, and some of the youth now today, you can see them moving around. So this is one of the things that we need to know. And for us to invest in professional development, that's why I list down for you all these courses that you must do, and also for you to find which course will you do in this 21st century. As I told you earlier, that 21st century is quite a bit different. It's not like those days where you can just get a degree and then tomorrow you will just get a work, okay? And all these things not because they had abundant natural resources. The countries I mentioned earlier, it's not because they have abundant resources, but because they invest in education, resource, and also modern skills. This reality it teaches an important lesson to most of us, The future belongs to society that develops knowledgeable and competent professional. The future doesn't belong to people who doesn't invest in professional development. But this future of artificial intelligence and this future of modern worlds, it will depend on knowledgeable and competent professional. It will not depend on all those things you see around and so forth. So you need to work very hard. You need to work very hard and see uh, this 21st century, what will you do? And that's why some of us will bring all these things live so that you see and also to interact with you. I don't need to make a video and then I cannot interact with you. That's why I call podcast always try to bring to you all these things live, and then we come and discuss. We discuss it live with you together. And that's one of the reasons you always believe in a call podcast. Whatever question you want to ask, we just answer it automatically. We don't spend time with your questions, then we will answer it. And I believe if there are people that have answers, I mean, if there are people that have questions, then I'm ready to answer them. And I believe that I'm going to answer all these questions. Okay? Thank you. As we proceed, that I'm going to answer all these questions. Okay? Thank you. As we proceed. Yeah, welcome back, guys. Let me know from the questions. If you have any question that you want to ask, I think I will answer it for you. And the reason I brought this, and I told you earlier that we need to invest in professional development. We don't need to invest on something that will not give us uh, something that will not give us a quality job, but we need to invest in professional development. And South Sudan will be a great country. And you also, as a young man, you need to invest in professional development. You don't need to invest on things that cannot give you skills. You don't need to invest on things that will not even teach you something. But you have to invest on professional development. Investing on professional developments will also open a lot of ways from you. And you will also know that the moment you invest in professional developments, a lot of things will come. And at the same time, the modern job market is becoming more interconnected. Digital technology allow professionals to work across borders. And that's why today, if you have a products, you can just force the products, and your clients may get the thing that you want to thing that you want to buy. Maybe you want to buy something, then you can just post it on social media, and your client will get all the thing that you want to sell out. Digital technology allow professionals to work across any border. You can be in Uganda, and I buy your products in Uganda, and then I'll get them from here. This is quite a bit different, and that's why you see, the world is changing. Okay, you collaborate internationally and access global opportunities. A software developer in Africa can design system used in Europe. And we don't have these things, of course, here in South Sudan. And this is one of the reasons that we are suffering. Let's say in South Sudan and some African countries, you cannot find people investing on software development. People invest on other issues. And we used to talk here in South Sudan. We used to say that South Sudan must go digitally. But there are a lot of ways that we can go digital. We still use traditional records. We take the pen, we take the book, we write on them, then we just make anything that we want to do. And all these things are contributing into downfall of the nation. A nation that aim to develop, you mean that you need to go digital. You need to do anything digitally. And writing, making a lot of financial issues. I mean, for financial reports using traditional records. All these things contribute to they always contribute to end developments, we are not developing. And this is and if we are not developing, it means that we are not contributing into digital. And digital will not go forward unless we work for it. You know, you can find say, firms in South Sudan, and you may find them, they don't have a database, they don't have website, they don't have email. Some of the companies, some of the big companies maybe. And these things contribute, of course, to downfall of our country. And we need to try very hard so that we view the walls, and the walls will also see that South Sudan is moving forward. We can be young almost every year. However, the importance of choosing the right course is not only about personal success, but it is all about national development. And this is what I said. Every country requires professionals in multiple sectors to function effectively. Engineers, designs, infrastructures, doctors protect public health, teachers educate the next generation, and then economic always guide policy, it guides financial policy, and administrators manage the institutions. You see, when these professions are strong, society become stable and prosperous. But if society is not investing on all these things that I mentioned, then we may find that we are losing our prosperity. And when they are weak, okay, developments, law, and institutions struggle to perform their responsibilities. This is what always impact some of the nations is because of they always empower institution. And if we empower institution, therefore, it means the society become prosperous. But now our society is not prosperous because of something that we know, and maybe because of something that you know. Okay, for development countries, such as South Sudan, this South Sudan is a developing country. Okay, it's a developing country. It's not. It is still is not developed. This issue is particularly critical to South Sudan. The country is still building its institutions, infrastructure, and economic system. So this means there is a strong demand for skilled professionals in many fields, including technology and agriculture, education, governance, and healthcare also. Okay, because of that, we are building the nations, and the nations that we are building, it need flexibility to adapt new technologies and methods. Lifelong learning has become an essential component of professional success. So if we empower all this, I think South Sudan will also move from where it is, despite this change. Okay, one important truth always remain constant. Society still rely on human creativity, leadership, and ethical responsibilities. You know, society is looking for these people, and if society is not investing in these people, then we will always see undeveloped South Sudan. So South Sudan will not develop because of society is not investing on professional. Society is investing on naive, okay, on newbie people. That's the big problem. And if society is investing on professional, okay, and creativity, you may find out that South Sudan is going to grow. But South Sudan will not grow if we are not investing on professional development. And this is what I always advocate for, that we need to have a professional development. That professional development will always give us the way forward, and these things will also make us to develop our country, because South Sudan cannot develop if we do not take care of all these things that I said earlier, because they are very important. And if you see that they are not important, then you might be having a problem. Of course, yes. Okay, you might be having a problem, but let us try to know that South Sudan is moving forward with all the things that we have been seeing. And artificial intelligence, we have been seeing the roles that it is playing. It's playing a lot of things, and all these things that artificial intelligence is playing, we can see them in our naked eyes. Today, you can find that because artificial intelligence is number one on my list, and if you invest in artificial intelligence, a lot of things will happen. And let me be frank to you, artificial intelligence, or AI, is one of the most transformative technologies of the 21st century. Let me tell you the fact. Because it involves designing computer system that can learn, analyze pattern, and even make decisions, okay, without the constant human instructions, okay. It's a model being trained to follow some of the steps. It's a model being trained to follow some of the steps of human being, and it's like an advisor. This is what I always say. It's like an advisor. Right now you might be having an advisor. You need to ask your advisor on what you want to say. When you ask your advisor and then they give you something, so it means you can take all the thing that your advisor says. But sometimes, in some cases, I may not take all the thing that he says, but I have to take what benefit me. That's why I say you need to use AI, and you take whatever that you want. But if you don't want anything from artificial intelligence, but not all the thing that you can take from AI, but there's some of the thing that you may take from artificial intelligence, and there are some of the thing that you may not take from AI. So it is counterintuitive, okay? Because AI is now used in medicines. Let me tell you the fact. It is now used in medicines. You go to medicines, you find artificial intelligence being used, and you go where you find artificial intelligence. Most people are using it. Okay, it's not only in writing, it's not only in research, but also in medicines. People use it in finance. People use it in transportations, agriculture, security system, and education. All these places, artificial intelligence is being used in all these places. Students who study AI learn programming, mathematics, data analysis, and algorithm designs. You see that globally today, companies such as Google, Microsoft, and Tesla are today investing on those things. Do you remember that? Have you ever read this? All these big companies you see, they are now investing on artificial intelligence. For South Sudan, AI could help in areas such as agriculture, podcastings, medical diagnosis, and public data analysis, because this is where South Sudan can invest on. South Sudan can invest on other things, like those systems and so forth. I think South Sudan will not invest on those, but I think South Sudan will only invest in agriculture. It may invest in medical diagnosis, and so a lot of things are there. And if we don't do this, then we will not. There is nothing that will come from it. And that's why I said artificial intelligence is number one in my list. And I want also to know from your list, which course do you think is one of the advanced course that, I mean, is one of the best course, one of the top course for 21st century careers? Do you have any course that you see? Maybe I left it out. And if you have that, then I will just add it maybe in my next podcast otherwise. But today I just choose artificial intelligence and machine learning as my top course for 21st century careers. I also choose data science and data analytical. I've also choose cybersecurity and information security, software engineering and computer programming, renewable energy and engineering, okay, civil engineering, medicines and health science, biomedical engineering, agricultural science and agribusiness, okay, environmental science and climate studies, economics, business administrations and management, accountings and finance, law, political science and public administration, international relation, that is IRD, education and educational leadership, psychology, mass communication and media studies, logistics and supply chain management. So this 20 top courses that I've chosen, sometimes they might be different from yours. And that's why I said, if you have anything, if you have any course that you see, maybe let me just know from here. I'm available. I will answer any question that you may just throw here. Let me try to see if, because I'm live today and I'm not going to take a short time. I'm going to take long. It is not an easy thing. Okay. That is artificial intelligence in my case, because artificial intelligence today is making a lot of things. It's making some good thing, of course. It's not like other courses. Other courses are doing well, but of course, yes, AI is one of the things that I choose to be the tough. It's the tough list in my course of 21st century career. Number two in my list is data science and data analytic. Uh, Data science today, let me say, data is now considered one of the most valuable resource in modern society. Government, business, and organization generate amount of data every day. Data scientists and analysts, data scientists, they always analyze this information to discover a patterns and guide the decision making. Sometimes it is very important for us. It's very important for you. It's very important for me to find out the data that we want to deal with. And sometimes if there is no data, we will not get information. And that is the basic definition of data. Data, sometimes if we say data, it means data must have must be processed to bring information. Okay, and if data is not processed, then we will not get any information. And that's why you see data science today become one of the best thing in 21st century career. So you need to invest on that. If you want to do data science, that is great. Okay, if you don't want to do it, it's also yours, no problem. And sometimes if you want to make decisions, we need to invest in data science, because when we need to invest in decision making, when we want to do any decision, sometimes we need to gather the information. And if we need to gather the information, we must have the data. Okay, after we get the data, we process and we get the information, and we also make a decision based on the information. You can't make decision without information, but you make decision based on the information that you have got. Okay. Yeah, this course combine statistics. Okay, this course that I'm talking about, which is the data science, and if you know mathematics, so you can see that when we have a data, when we have something called data, it involves always mathematics. Okay, it also involves computer programming and analytical thinking. Data analysts, it helps the institutions to understand economic trends, customer behavior. This is one of the things, and health patterns and social developments. All these data analysts always analyze those things. But in South Sudan, better data analysis could help ministries and development agencies to make more informed decisions about policies and resource allocation. Sometimes we may allocate resources for our institutions, and that resources is not contributing anything. So which means we are investing on zero tolerance. Okay, and if we are investing on all this bad thing and malpractice, then we can see that the nation cannot move forward. Okay, because of all this, that policy and resource allocation to each institution must have a data. There should be data analysts, and governments should also hire data analysts so that they will analyze the institutions, and they will also analyze the data that are in particular institutions. And if they get anything in regard to any institution, then this is the moment they will allocate resources, because we cannot allocate resources for no reason. We have to allocate resources for a reason, and is after we also identify the data that you are going to have. The data that you have, this is how we are going to allocate for you resources. And sometimes if we only allocate the resources, and if we only allocate the resources then and we haven't analyzed the institution, sometimes it creates a lot of things, it creates a lot of problems. And that's why it's really necessary for us first to see what are we going to do, and if we see what we want to do, then we move forward. And this is how many countries are doing all this. Many countries, they always hire data analysts, and data analysts help the institution to move forward. That's why I say it's very crucial to learn data analysts, because it is here tough too, in my tough 20 course of 21st century career. Okay, we have cybersecurity and information security. As more system move online, everything is online today. We have money online, we have privacies, they are all online. You can't hear any privacy from somebody. Okay, you can hear any privacy from somebody today. Sometime, let me tell you, sometime you may need to know about somebody, then you don't need to go to other people to ask them. But what you do is you just go online and find the privacies, and the rest of the thing you will configure them. And because of that, cybersecurity and information security has more as more system move online, cybercrime become a serious threat. And this is one of the things government of South Sudan try very hard to approve the cyber law and computer misuse. Is because of all these things. It's not because of anything else, but it's because of that. Okay, it's because of the privacies and because more systems move online. We know politics is online, and a lot of things are today online. So that's why South Sudan is moving digitally, trying to move digitally, moving away from where they are, and that's why they are trying very hard to impose the law so that the law should be effective. Okay, that's the big problem today. Cybersecurity specialists protect digital network, database, and communication system from hacking and data thefts. This is one of the things that you are also seeing today, and I believe that most people are scared to 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 do business online because of this. Most people also scared to do other things because of bullying and cybersecurity. I mean, and cyber threats and many things that happens online. We also have cyber attacks and so forth that your privacies can be exposed online, and then you may lose a dignity. Okay, your integrity will just go online today if you're not serious. But if you're serious, you will protect your dignity. That's why we have cybersecurity. That's why we have cybersecurity and information security in order to protect all this. Okay, and many countries today, we have many countries. Like if you go to United States, you go to Europe, wherever you go, you can find that they are investing heavily in cybersecurity because digital infrastructure now control banking system, government records, and communication network. But in South Sudan, the expansion of mobile banking and digital government service will require a trained cybersecurity professionals to protect national information system. But I think we don't have national information system in South Sudan. So it's one of the things that we are also suffering from. There is no national information system that we have in South Sudan. All our informations are naked. Somebody who want them, they will just get them. They're really available. We don't have a secret here in South Sudan. Anybody who want to access our information, they will get it. 100% open. Okay. My again is software engineering and computer programming. Software engineering focus on designing and developing computer applications and digital systems. These systems include mobile application, websites, financial platforms, education, software, and health management systems. A lot of things. That's why I brought it as top four on my list. Number five, we have renewable energy engineering. Renewable energy, you may surprise, but those of us who learn physics and we understood exactly what is energy and why energy is very important, because we know from thermodynamics, um, uh, we have a law, the law of the energy. Okay, energy cannot be created, nor it can be destroyed. It can be destroyed, and all these things. It is the existing energy that is replicated to and transformed to form another energy. That is it. That is the only difference you always find. Okay, and because of that, Renewable energy is today very important. We can store energy. We use this energy for other purpose. Okay, but today you can find that the energy being used for something is also being used for another thing, and that's why we have mechanical energy is transferred to be electrical energy. Okay, this is it's a bit different. This is the different thing that you need to learn. Like, if you have a generator, what it does is a mechanic. Okay, it's a mechanical, but you can change that energy into electrical energy, and that's why we see light. We see light because of mechanical energy. So it means that we need to do that. We need to do those things. Also, we have energy. South Sudan today is struggling with the power, is struggling with electricity, and renewable energy engineering. It was really criticized by Donald Trump in 2025. Uh, I think it was in New York. Okay, I think it was in New York during a UN summit. Okay, he said renewable energy is a scam. It's a scam. You can invest in those things and so. But I think energy is the backbone of economic development. Renewable energy engineering focus on sustainable power sources such as solar, winds, and hydroelectric energy. Okay, like what I was saying. And you have seen from Ethiopia, Ethiopia has built big dams. Okay, and this dam is going to supply electricity. It's going to have hydroelectric energy. That hydroelectric energy is going to be much. Okay, South Sudan will take also some. Kenya is going to take some. Uganda is going to take some, and a lot of countries they will take from Ethiopia because the energy that will be produced there is going to be huge. Okay, it's a huge energy, and that's why when we invest in renewable energy and engineering, we will get a lot of things. Okay, let's go to number 6. But before that, do you know that the global shift toward clean energy today is creating enormous opportunity for engineers in this field? I think you may know that Kenya is also investing on that. I can see they have also made those things. They made windmill, and you can see it also from there is environment created for them. Okay, you can see they are white. Okay, they are white in color, and these people are really investing in that energy, in that electrical energy. So, and I think they're getting power, they're getting electricity. They are not like South Sudan, where we are wrestling with jet coal today and tomorrow. But South Sudan has abandoned sunlight and strong potential for solar energy development. Renewable energy engineers can help bring electricity to rural communities, okay, improve hospital power system, and support some of the industrial growth, because we might need those people. If we need industrial growth, then we have to invest on that. But it still we don't have all this. We don't have industries. So if we have industries, we may invest in renewable energy. We have civil engineering today. We may see that civil engineering civil engineering today is really very important because it deals with designs and constructions of infrastructure such as roads, bridges, building, and water systems, and even transportation network. Okay, civil engineering is working on that, but infrastructure development is critical for national progress. Of course, is countries that invest in road transportation systems and advanced planning experience, they always experience faster economic growth. But South Sudan, because it's not investing in all this, South Sudan is investing in other things. And that's why we may not see the economic growing and so. We depend on oil, but oils, it has limitations. And that's why I said earlier, we need to also to invest in professional development. This is the good thing that you need to work on. In South Sudan, civil engineers are always essential for rebuilding infrastructure damaged by years of conflicts and for developing modern cities. We know South Sudan has been at war, and war has really made a great impact. And those things are always negative impact, but still we try very hard. Juba would have been a great country. I mean, would have been a great capital city, But it's because of the war that Juba now today, you can see it is struggling with infrastructure, is struggling with roads and so forth. My top list is medicines. Medicine remains one of the most respected and essential profession in the world. Doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and public health specialists, they work to diagnose, uh, they also treat patients, and they also improve healthcare system. That's why we love them. Healthcare professionals are always in demand because human health is a permanent priority in South Sudan. And since South Sudan face significant healthcare challenge, including limited medical facility and shortage of trained professionals, a student who study medicine can make life-saving contribution to society. And I believe in College of Medicine, so when you go to University of Juba, you go to AE, you go to the rest of the like Upper Nile University, you may find that South Sudan is investing on that, but still you can't find a quality job being done by students. That is not because of them, but sometimes because of the environment. There are some equipment missing and also a lot of things happening. This is the problem. This will bring me into number 8, and I think number 8, you know it, of course, is biomedical engineering. And in South Sudan, we don't need this. I think most people may say we don't need this. This is not our level. There are people who may say this is not our level. Please, if you have anything, if you have any career that you say is nice, please, you need to make comment right here and let me know also what type of career that you have. I mean, the type of the career that I left out, and it is very important so that I see and we also move forward with it. Otherwise, I have to move forward and see also. I have a couple of people here that may comment, but still we need to see what type of job that you need to choose in 21st century, because it is very important. Mahim Shadid in 21st century. Don't make a degree that will not give you something, but make a degree that will give you something. That is very important. If you don't make a degree that will give you something, you will be wasting time, and time is going to move. Okay? I have biomedical. Biomedical is combines engineering with medical science. So this things is crucial today. You can see it from many countries. They are investing on that. On top list is agricultural science and agribusiness. So agriculture remains the backbones of many development countries. Agricultural science sometimes focus on improving crop production, soil management, irrigation systems, and also farming technologies. And I know that most of the countries are not investing on that. Most of the countries, they are not investing on most of the countries are investing in agriculture, and South Sudan is not investing in agriculture. That's why we always suffer when we need to move forward with agriculture. But because we are not investing in agriculture, we may not find a good life. But a good life comes when you are investing in agriculture. And when we combine agricultural science and agribusiness, our nation thrive and also prosperity evolve on that. But if we don't have all this, my friend, South Sudan is going to be down, because we are not investing in agricultural science and also agribusiness, because agribusiness is one of the things. You make your products, you sell them out. Okay? When you sell them out, that's mean you are doing something. That's why we related it with the agribusiness, is because you are doing business on top of agriculture. Okay? And it is is really great if you're investing on all this. You're investing on agriculture, you sell your products, you get your own money. Ita buy it tomorrow, you sell it today, and so. And in Mahim City, it is very important. We need to invest in agricultural science and also agribusiness, because agribusiness also involve economic and commercial aspects of agriculture, okay, including food distributions and agricultural marketing. I think we don't have all this in South Sudan. But South Sudan has a vast fertile land, but low agricultural productivity. This is the big thing, and it's the one that taking us back today because of low agricultural productivity. And agricultural experts always, they are there to help, but there is no way that they can help. And another one is environmental science and climate studies. Environmental science studies the interactions between humans and natural environment. This field focus on issues, okay, such as climate change, pollution, conservation, and sustainable resources management. Resources management, I mean. Countries worldwide are now prioritizing environmental protections and climate resilience. But you can see today, Donald Trump in 2025, he was criticizing all this, saying all these things are wrong. So what type of job do you want to invest in? What type of job do you want to learn today? Do you want to go for all these that I mentioned? If you go for them, you're going to thrive. If you don't go for them, then you will remain behind. Another one is economics. Okay, that is number 11 in my list. Economic exam how society produce. That is it simply. Distribute and consume resources. In economics, there should be productions, there should be consumptions. Okay, all these things they move together. You can eat, okay, and you can produce. But sometimes if you eat and you don't produce, this is not economic. Economic must also prioritize all this. Two, there are two. We distribute and we also consume, okay, the resources. And economies also analyze inflation, employment, trade, taxations. There are many, of course, yes, like national growth, national economic growth. All these things come from economies. Okay, governments rely heavily on economics analysis to guide policy decisions. In South Sudan, skilled economists are needed to support financial planning, manage oil revenues, control inflation, and promote sustainable economic development. But today we don't have this. South Sudan is suffering from inflation. South Sudan is suffering from liquidity crisis where you don't have cash, you don't have this, you don't have this. Economic is really maneuvering, and we don't know what is the problems. Okay, and is if we have economies, I think they will solve the problem. Yeah, good enough. Business administration and management, which is number 12 in my list. Business administrations, these things, it is really nice. Don't take it as something different. Business administration teach leadership, entrepreneurship, financial management, marketing, and strategic planning. Strong business leaders are essential for building successful companies and creating employment opportunities. Okay, we have been seeing all this in many places. Okay, in developing countries, sometimes where private sector growth is still emerge, business professionals play key roles in expanding market and supporting economic diversification. And if we diverse this business idea, then South Sudan is going to be a great country. Number 13 is accounting and finance. You can see this accounting and finance focus on financial management. Okay, the focus on that auditing, taxations, investment analysis, and so financial professionals, or they are business-minded people, of course. Yes, we have law, which is number 14 in my list. Law is very important in a given country like South Sudan, because it maintains justice, it protects rights, it regulates society. Legal professionals interpret law, represent clients in a court, and advise organization on legal matters. That's why we need this course, because it is very important. Another one is political science on top of it. And I think most people don't want to do political science and public administration. These things move together. Public admins and political science. Political science, of course, yeah, it is study governance, political systems, and public policy. Public administration is also focused on how government institutions operate and deliver its services. That's why we have public administration. If you graduate a public administration or you want to go for public administration, you are likely to be a politician. Okay. Efficient public administration is necessary for effective governance. Countries with strong administrative institutions manage resources more effectively and deliver better service to citizens. 16 on top of my list is international relation and diplomacy. Of course, we need to have relationship with other countries. That's why we must have IRD so that diplomat represent national interests in foreign affairs and negotiate international agreement. For young nations like South Sudan's, skills development can strengthen global partnership and improve international engagement. So it's very crucial. It's very crucial. We have education, which is number 17 in my list. Education and educational leadership and education professionals shape the intellectual foundation, okay, of the future generation. Because we might be having a graduate of education. They always invest to teach the generation that is coming up. Teachers, lecturers, and also educational administrators design curriculums, manage schools, and develop learning system. This is very important. And without all this strong education system, no country can sustain development. Educational leadership sometimes is essential for improving teaching quality and expanding access to knowledge. This is very important today. We have psychology, which is number 18 in my list. Of course, yeah, in societies recovering from conflicts and social disruptions, like South Sudan today is suffering a lot from these social disruptions, and this social disruption need a lot of things to be done. Psychological support is really, especially, it is really very important, especially in South Sudan. Mental health professionals help individuals and communities to recover from trauma and build healthy social relationship. And I know that most of us, we might be having a trauma, might be having anything that we are suffering from. But if we have psychologists, they will just do this for us. And I know we don't have many psychologists. Nobody's investing on that. Another one is mass communications and media studies, which focus on journalism, broadcasting, digital media, and public communication. So all these are very important. The last one today is going to be logistics and supply chains management, which is also effective in many countries. But I don't know today in South Sudan whether logistics and procurement is one of the best courses that you should do. And I know I have a lot of colleagues that are doing this course, and they are also excelling in the course, and the course is giving them something. This is very important today. Ladies and gentlemen, it has come to the end of this podcast, and I believe that maybe I've delivered to you something that you may move forward with it. And I think this 20 course that you should learn in 21st century career, I think they are very important. You need to learn them, and if you learn them, you are going to be successful. And if you're not going to be successful, you're going to change something in your mind. They are very important. You need to learn them. Otherwise, if you don't learn them, then you're going to have a problem. Please, I have to advise you, if you are new, if you didn't go to university or you already went to university, I want to advise you that if you haven't gone to university, you need to try very hard. But you need to try very hard to choose a course that you can get something from it. Choose a course that you like. Choose a course that aligns with 21st century. Don't choose a course that doesn't have that is not aligned with 21st century. But choose a course that is aligned with 21st century, because in 21st century we need professional development. We need people who think out of the box. But if you don't have that, 21st century is not going to wait for you. 21st century is going to take somebody who is ready for 21st century. That's why I made this video. I want you to be very tough, of course, in this 21st century. Work very hard, be like other people, and try to do something. Try to help South Sudan. South Sudan will not be helped if we are not trying, but it will be helped when we are trying to do something. I want to advise you that let us try today so that we see how South Sudan is going to look in the future. And I want to say that thank you so much for tuning in into a call podcast. the voice of innovation. Today and tomorrow, we are going to do a lot of things in a call podcast, the voice of innovation. Bye bye from now, and we shall meet next time here in a call podcast.